everybody. This is Tate Boyce with Providence College Lacrosse, and through coaching through cancellation, I'm going to talk to you guys today about goalie play and specifically playing the ball behind and making saves in tight. Before we get into things, first off, I'd like to say that I hope everybody watching or listening is safe and healthy and is getting through these times. I know it's tough, so I hope that this gives you an outlet of some sort or you learn something from this. Second off, I'd like to thank Coach Chamati and the Richmond staff for inviting myself to join this coaching through cancellation program, and I think it's a great initiative and a great opportunity to help the lacrosse world and grow the game a little bit. So I'm really thankful that I was able to get involved. And without further ado, let's jump into it. Okay, so when talking about goalie play, playing the ball behind is a critical component of strong goalie play. A lot of offenses are predicated on moving the ball through X, initiating from behind, or running some kind of set play or formation when attacking from behind. So understanding how to play the ball and what you like is really critical in coaching and playing the position. So I'm going to talk to you guys about positioning and technique, as well as show you guys a couple drills that you can do to help with that. So first off, when talking about positioning, being in the right spot is going to help you make more saves than not, right? Being in the right spot, cutting down angles, taking up a majority of the net is going to help you make a lot of saves. It's going to help you get hit a lot. Second, maintaining your stance and your ready position is going to give you the best chance to make a play or make a save on a ball. You know, when you see goalies resting their head on the crossbar, above the crossbar, it takes more time to get there once they have to turn around on a skip pass. And third, your arc movement should be very similar to your arc as if the ball is up top in front of the cage. We like to use a three-step arc movement at Providence College, and we call this our three-step reverse arc when the ball is behind. Fourth, with that three-step arc, you want to divide the field behind the net into three separate segments. You'll see I have a little diagram next to help you understand this. And then lastly, you just want to adjust your positioning accordingly based on where the ball moves and as it goes from one section to the other. Alright, so here's that diagram I was talking about when dividing the area behind the net into three separate parts. You want to extend your lines out from the pipes, so you take each pipe and extend a line out at about a 45-degree angle. This is going to divide it into three sections. If you're facing behind, we'll call the section on the left number 1, the section directly at X and behind the net number 2, and the section on your right number 3. And so you can see as that ball carrier transitions from one section to the next, you rotate and position yourself accordingly. And as you position yourself, you want to have your outside foot inside and almost on the pipe with your shoulders facing upfield and your eyes and your head rotated to see the ball carrier. You'll see what I mean in this video up next to give you a better visual representation. So the video you're going to see is going to help you guys better understand what I'm talking about in terms of positioning and shoulder and foot placement, as well as I'm going to show you guys our three-step reverse arc drill that we like to do at Providence with our goalies that helps hammer home that muscle memory and helps them get comfortable with this three-step reverse arc in the rotations. And I'm going to show you guys this drill at a basic level, but it can certainly be built up to adding a live shooter and live feeder as well to add some more components to the drill to kind of hit home, you know, the movement into a live shot. Alright guys, I wanted to come out in my backyard and show you the three-step reverse arc drill. Really simple, you don't need a lot of space, you can do it at home, in the backyard, in the driveway, even possibly inside. You don't necessarily need a goal or these cones, but they certainly help for a visual aid. And before we get into the drill, I also wanted to reiterate a couple of the points I made in terms of positioning that we saw in the presentation and explain a little bit of that diagram. So to start out, you can see that I've got my backyard divided into three sections behind the net, just like the diagram. Section 1 on the left, section 2 directly at X, and section 3 over here on the right. And so in terms of positioning, right, we try to teach our goalies at Providence College that once this ball carrier passes from zone 2 to 3 or 2 to 1, we're going to have our goalie step directly to the pipe and be opening up so he's facing upfield somewhat, kind of facing into that step-down shooter spot on the wing, and also being able to see the ball carrier behind. That way he's ready. If the ball carrier tries to push the net, we're in a good position here to match with him and get a read on him that way, or if they try to make a feed directly to a step down or across to a skip, we're already a little bit cheating towards our position to get ready for that, right? Because we feel that if our goalies can get set, the longer they have to get set and see the ball, the better chance they have of making that save. So just being opened up, we feel that it allows our goalies to have a little bit quicker, a little bit more time to be able to get set and track those balls as they come over, okay? And so this 3-step is 2 steps to each pipe and 1 to the middle, right? So if I took a step to the pipe here, that's 1, 2 back to the middle, 3 to this pipe. Again, that's 1 to each pipe and then 1 to the middle. So I've already taken 1 step here. This is the second, and that's the third, and that's where we get the 3-step reverse arc term, okay? And so just working on that movement is really critical in getting that muscle memory. So that's all the 3-step reverse arc drill is, right? This drill is just simply spending 10 to 15 seconds at a time for each rep and drilling this reverse arc, right? You can either do it on your own, or you can have a ball carrier behind at X carrying through these spots, and they can keep you honest and turn the corner on a couple of them just to keep you on your toes, right? But simply, we want to be as fast and as quick as we can. We use the term quick twitch, you know, a term popular in sports. You want to be really quick twitch, really fast, and get those hips and that head around, right? We can get our eyes around first, the rest of our body is going to follow, okay? So the 3-step reverse arc drill is simply ball carriers in section 3, section 2, section 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, right? Just working as quick as we can, getting to each spot, rotating, getting those eyes around, getting those hips around, all right? Really easy, really simple, but super effective. If you get that muscle memory, it's going to really help you to set up well on those skips over the top, step downs, or somebody driving and turning the corner. All right, so now that we've talked about our positioning when playing the ball from behind, I'm going to talk about and touch on some technique when trying to play the ball behind, and specifically when there's passes from X or feeds from behind. So again, our technique, we want to emphasize not to have that stick on the crossbar or above, as it takes us out of positioning and takes longer to get back to our stance once the ball comes over. And then second, we want to track the flight of the ball and rotate so that our chest is always facing the ball so that we open up and see it. I've got a video to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about so you get a better understanding of this. Alright guys, now I just wanted to give you another visual representation of what I was talking about when addressing feeds from X or feeds from behind up top into step downs, skips, or inside feeds, okay? So first and foremost, we want to be set in our ready position, in our stance, facing behind. The ball carries directly at X, I'm here. If he's crossed over this pipe, I'm here. And I don't want to have my stick on the crossbar or above the crossbar. I see a ton of young goalies with resting their stick here or holding it up here trying to knock down passes, right? You know, personally, I feel that that takes you out of position and is going to take time away from your reaction on if you don't pick that pass off and that pass gets through, right? To me, keeping the stick here or here is kind of an all or nothing for trying to get that to pick off a pass, right? Because if you don't get it, you've got to go from here, now I'm turning and I got to bring back down here, as opposed to being in your ready position in your stance the whole time. That skip comes over, boom, I don't have to move my hands at all. We have really efficient motion there, right? We don't want any wasted movement or any wasted moment. Those fractions of seconds, those milliseconds bringing that stick from here down to here is going to be the difference of making a save or giving up a goal. Okay, so again, we don't want that stick head on the crossbar or above. We want to be in our ready position. And as this ball comes over your shoulder, we want to rotate, opening up our chest. That way we can follow the flight of the ball the whole way, right? So if I'm standing over here and this ball, let's say we have a lefty ball carrier back here and he's feeding a skip pass to a righty step down across the top, okay? So as that pass comes over my right shoulder here, I want to swing my left hip and my left side around, okay? That way my chest remains open to the ball and I see the whole trajectory of the ball the whole way. As opposed to being here, the ball comes this way and I turn this way. Now I can't see the ball. I haven't seen directly where it lands. I didn't get a good visual on where the shooter caught it or where he's going to release it from, okay? So if we have a righty ball carrier over here, making a feed across over our left shoulder, we want to open up with our left, swing around that right hip, and that way we're set there, okay? That way we're keeping our chest open, tracking the ball the whole way. And we snap that head around first, right? If our eyes get there first, if our head goes first, the rest of your body's going to follow. And the quicker you get that head around and your eyes around, you're going to locate where that ball is going to land, and you're going to be able to get a better read on what kind of release and when that shooter is going to get it out of his stick based on where you were able to see him as your eyes got around. That wraps up my segment on goalies and playing the ball and passes from behind. And to summarize for you guys, it starts with positioning, getting set, being in your same stance that you are facing upfield, or having your goalie be in the same stance that he is as when he's facing upfield, and now he's facing behind. Dividing the field into 3 separate sections so that you can work that 3-step reverse arc when tracking a ball carrier behind from one pipe to the other, and then using that 3-step reverse arc to rotate into each pipe as a ball carrier pushes one way. And as we rotate, we want the outside foot inside the pipe with our shoulder on the pipe as well, with our shoulders facing upfield, ready to address a skip pass or a step down pass up top. And then technique wise, as I hit a couple times, we really want to keep those stick and hands in the same position as if we were taking a shot from in front of the cage. Don't want to rest that stick head on the crossbar or put that stick head up above the crossbar, as that's going to take away time for you to react, and you're going to have to waste time getting that stick back into the position of your normal stance before you're able to attack the shot. And then when you address those passes, whatever shoulder that pass comes over, we want to rotate around that shoulder, and you want to snap your head and your eyes around first, so that way the rest of your body follows, and you can get a good read on where the shooter is catching the pass, where the pass is ending up, and what kind of release the shooter is going to use when he's shooting. I appreciate you guys tuning in and following along. I hope that was helpful and you learned something. Check out Coaching Through Cancellation, the YouTube page for part 2 on my presentation on saving inside shots. And again, I hope you guys are staying safe and healthy, and I hope you learned something from this. Thanks.